Hey, what's up? It's Nathan here with thebtccourse.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a multi-sig wallet using Nunchuk, and we're going to be using the desktop version of the tool. Now there's a mobile version as well that has some nifty functions and features, and there's also collaborative multi-sig and inheritance planning and some other cool stuff that Nunchuk does that I'm not going to cover in this video. I'll have other videos on those subjects. This video is about setting up a multi-sig wallet on your desktop computer. So maybe you have a Ledger device and a Coldcard, or maybe two of each or something like that, and you want to create a 2 or 3 multi-sig wallet. Well, that's what we're going to cover in this video. If you're trying to do the mobile app, look for another video that I have about the mobile app. So anyway, this is the website right here, and if we scroll down, and you can read about it and everything, I mean, you can do that on your own time. This video is about getting into the weeds and setting this stuff up, where we can go ahead and receive some Bitcoin and send some Bitcoin and so on. So anyway, if you scroll down far enough, you should see the download our app right here. So we have the App Store, Google Play, Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. So all those operating systems. I'm on Windows, so I'll click on that. And it brings you to GitHub. So this could be a little intimidating if you've not been, not done this type of thing before. So right here we have a 1.9.20, which is a pre-release. So maybe you want this or maybe not. There might be some, might not be fully tested in this case. So what I would usually do is go for the latest. So this is like the latest firm version. So this is what I would go ahead and download myself. So we'll click into here, and then we see another page, and this could look a little intimidating as well. But all you have to do is find the one that pertains to your operating system. So here's Nunchuk window 1.9.19.zip. So I'll just click on that, and it should download. So there I go. I can save it to my computer, and then I'm going to go ahead and open that zip file and open. And I'm using WinZip, but you might have a different zip tool. But basically, you want to unzip this nunchuk.exe file to your computer somewhere. And I'm just going to put it on my desktop, and I'll go ahead and replace the file. And so there we go. So I'm going to close out of this, and I'm going to navigate to my desktop to download that particular file. So let me do that. So here it is on my desktop, and I want to just double click it to open it up. And then it asks me, do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Yes, I do. And it asks if I want to create a desktop shortcut. So I'll say yes and install. And it's going to go ahead and install Nunchuk on my computer. And then I want to go ahead and launch Nunchuk. And so here we are inside of the app. Now I could go ahead and sign in to continue. So if I do have, or I want to do collaborative custody, or I want to do their inheritance plan, or I have a paid membership to Nunchuk, then I would have to go ahead and log in. But again, I'm just demonstrating the basic multi-sig features in this video. So for my particular case, I'm actually going to go ahead and continue as a guest. So I'm going to click this option right here, so that way I don't have to input my email address into their platform or anything like that. No KYC is required to use Nunchuk, so that's nice. Now, since I am in guest mode, it does have some limited features. So keys and wallets created in guest mode are stored locally. They will not be removed until you manually delete them or uninstall the app. So it's not going to be stored on the cloud, basically is what it's saying. And in order to get rid of them, I have to manually delete them myself, or my computer needs to explode. All right, messaging and collaborative multi-sig wallets are not currently available in guest mode. So we already talked about this. We're just creating, a basic multi-sig wallet. And so we're not doing any sort of collaborative custody or anything in this video. I'll have other videos later on to discuss it, but right here, it's just your basic multi-sig setup. So we'll go with got it. So the first thing we need to go ahead and do is add a couple keys to our Nunchuk wallet, so that way we can make a multi-sig wallet, because of course multi-sig means multi-signatures, so we need multiple signatures within our wallet in order to create the multi-sig wallet. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add a new key. And so I have a Ledger, I have a Coldcard, and we'll also create a software key in this video as well, so that way, I'm demonstrating 3 different things. But you could use, 3 ledgers if you want to, 3 Coldcards if you want to, 3 software keys. You could use any combination. You could use a Trezor or Keystone as well. So, I've got a Trezor here, and I've got a Keystone as well. So it works with a whole bunch of different hardware wallets is the point. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add a hardware key. All right, so it wants me to initialize the device key. So follow the vendor's instructions on how to set up your device with seed phrase. So I've already set up my ledger before, and so that's done. And I want to unlock the device and enter the PIN and passphrase. So on my ledger, I actually want to go ahead and load it up, log in, and then open up the Bitcoin app. So go ahead and do that. And of course, if you're unfamiliar with how your ledger works, I have a video on Ledger, link in the description down below. So all right, my ledger's up and my Bitcoin app is running. So I'm going to click on continue now. And then it asked me to add a hardware key name. So I'm just going to call this Ledger. Ledger. And I'm adding a wired key in this case because it's connected to my computer with a wire. And so it's not seeing it right away, so I'm going to do refresh devices. And it found my ledger right here, so there it is. So I'll now do add key, and it's adding a new key. Nunchuk is connecting to your device. Now, I might see a message on my ledger, so I need to pay attention to my screen here, and I might have to confirm or verify what I'm trying to do. So I'll wait for that. So I'll wait to see if that happens. And now Nunchuk is processing. And my ledger is saying the derivation path is unusual, confirm the public key. So, okay. So it gives me some information. I'm just scrolling to the right here. I'm going to click approve. And you can see that it's starting to process now inside of Nunchuk. So we'll let this process. And it's actually popped up again that the derivation path is unusual. So I'm going to go back through and confirm it again. And there you go. The key has been added successfully. So that looks good. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on close. So I've added one key, which is my ledger. Now I want to go ahead and add another key because I'm doing multi-sig. So we'll do another hardware key, add hardware key, and I'll go ahead and continue. Now this time I'm going to be doing my Coldcard, and I'll be doing an air-gapped Coldcard right here. So add air-gap key manually by entering your key spec. So I can go ahead and enter my XPub information and my BIP32 path and my master key fingerprint, or import via file. So I'm actually going to open up my Coldcard. And what we want to do is scroll on down to settings. And then we have multisig wallets right here. And then we want to go ahead and export XPub right there. This feature creates a small file containing the extended public keys. You would need to join a multisig wallet using the create air gap feature. So that's exactly what we want. Blah, 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 some information. Okay to continue or X to abort. An account number, I'm going to leave this blank. So press 1 to save file, or press 2 to save to virtual disk, or 3 to share via NFC. So I'm doing number 1 because I'm going to save it to my micro SD card. And so there's the file it created, CCXP, and then the fingerprint. So I'm going to pop out my micro SD card and plug it into my computer. And I'll click on import via file. And I'll navigate to my file. So there's my file right here. I'm going to go ahead and do open. And there, it imported the XPub information and everything else. So now I'll go ahead and do add key. And my key has been added successfully. So I can close that and close out of here. All right, and I can minimize this now. So now I have my ledger set up and my Coldcard set up that is air gap. So I need one more key to do a 203 multi-sig. So we'll do add keys. And this time I'm going to do a software key. So this would be a hot key basically because the key will be stored on my computer. So add software key. So this private key is stored and encrypted locally on this device, like I said. So please keep your device safe to prevent your key from being compromised. Okay. So I could go ahead and recover key with seed. So if I already have a seed phrase that I want to use, I could go ahead and click the recover key with seed. But for this case, we're going to go ahead and create a new key. So here's my 24 words right here that I need to write down on pen and paper and then go hide it somewhere, or put it into steel plate or something like that. So that way it's fireproof, waterproof, etc. Hopefully you know what the seed phrase is by now and that you need to keep it safe. But for my case, I'm just going to go ahead and take a picture of it because I'm going to delete this whole thing after this video anyway. So I'm going to take a picture, and then I'll go ahead and continue. And now it's quizzing me to confirm my seed. So word number 6 for me is mango. Word number 21 is deposit. And word number 23 is peace. So I'll hit continue. Key name, and I'll just call this one Nunchuk. And continue. And it's asking if I want to set a passphrase, which is the 25th word of your seed phrase. I'm not going to do that in this case. So I'm going to do I don't need a passphrase. And there we go. I've created another key. So now I'll click on close. All right. So now I have 3 different keys, and now I can create a multi-sig wallet using those keys. So we'll come up here to wallets and click the plus button. And so wallet name. So this is my demo wallet. And this wallet is used for a video. And then when it asks us to select our wallet type, so standard wallet or one-time escrow wallet, which is kind of a fancy thing. But an escrow wallet is a special single-use wallet designed to hold funds temporarily. I don't know when you would use this necessarily, but I'm going to go with standard wallet. And it exists if you know why you'd want to use it. So we have an advanced address type, and we have native SegWit, which is the default, and it's the highest fee saving. And there's also like Taproot, which is the new one. Now, the issue with going with the new one is some exchanges don't quite support Taproot addresses yet. So I'd be hesitant to go full on Taproot unless you know what you're doing. The best option would be native SegWit at this point in time, which is June 2023. So native SegWit, you can't go wrong with that one. So we'll go with next. And so now we can go ahead and select what keys we want to use for our multi-sig wallet. So I want to use my ledger, my Nunchuk, and yes, I understand the risks, and Coldcard. So I have 3 keys, and I want to assign them to a wallet. So there we go. And as you notice, you can have a maximum of 15 keys. So if you want to do like 5 of 7 or like 8 of 15 or something like that, you could have a pretty massive multi-sig configuration if you really wanted to. But that might be a little excessive unless you have some reason to do something else. All right, so now required signers. So right now, no one needs to sign the transaction, so I need to increase this. So 1 of 3 multi-sig would mean that, if I just had one of these devices, then I could go ahead and sign a transaction and send Bitcoin out of this wallet. And you probably don't want that. You probably want 2 of 3, which is the reason you're creating a multi-sig wallet in the first place. So 2 of 3 multi-sig means I need to have 2 of the 3 keys in order to spend Bitcoin from this wallet. So we'll go with 2 of 3. And review wallet, and so this is the information for my wallet, and I'll go ahead and create wallet. And now it's asking me if I want to save my configuration file. So I do recommend saving this file, so that way if like Nunchuk breaks or your computer breaks or something like that, you can have this file saved somewhere, maybe on a micro SD card or something like that, and that way you could more easily restore your multi-sig wallet. And you can open this BSMS file in other wallets as well, like Sparrow Wallet. You can use that to open your BSMS file too. So if Nunchuk vanishes from the face of the planet, you can still open up your wallet file using a different wallet software. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file, and I'm going to save it to my micro SD card since I already have it plugged into my computer, and I'll save it. And here's my wallet info. I'm going to go on more options real quick. So I could look at my unspent outputs, so my UTXOs right here. I could change addresses, delete my wallet, or import a PSBT. So if I have another PSBT file that I want to import, I could go ahead and import it into Nunchuk going through this option. And then we have export as well. So I could export my BSMS file. So if I didn't do it the first time and I want to do it this time, that's where I could do it. We could export wallet database, which I'm not exactly sure what that does, but anyway, we have transaction history as a CSV or UTXO as a CSV, and we also have export wallet to Coldcard, so you could export this wallet to your Coldcard device, and also Keystone and Seed Signer and Passport as well, and also Bitbox. So anyway, the BSMS file is pretty universal, so if you back up to that, then you should be able to restore your wallet should something bad happen. So anyway, I would recommend saving that somewhere and keeping it safe. All right, so we'll close that out of here. So this is what my wallet looks like, and I can't really do much with it until I actually have Bitcoin inside of it. So let's go ahead and receive some Bitcoin. And you can see all I have to do is send it to this QR code right here, or I can go ahead and copy and paste this address into like Coinbase or Strike or River or something like that, wherever I might have purchased my Bitcoin from. And so I have some Bitcoin on my phone, so I'm going to go ahead and scan the QR code on my phone, and I'm going to send the Bitcoin to my multi-sig wallet. And I can see in the background here that my transaction is showing up, so I'm going to go ahead and close this screen right here. And so there is my Bitcoin. It is coming into my wallet. And now I just have to wait a little while for this transaction to confirm, and then we can go ahead and talk about sending Bitcoin from this multi-sig wallet. Alrighty, so my transaction now has 2 confirmations, so we can go ahead and send it, and we will in a second. But before we do that, I want to go over a couple settings real quick while we're here. So if we come down to the bottom left-hand corner, click on the G, we can go to Settings. So if you want to, you can change your display unit. So right now it's in Bitcoin, and we could show fixed precision, and or we could show it as Satoshis. So just a couple different options here. You could change your local currency. So if you're not dealing in US dollars, you could go ahead and change that out. account settings. So you can go ahead and add this wallet to an account. So let's say that you do decide you want to create an account with Nunchuk, maybe a paid plan or an inheritance plan. Well, you could go ahead and add your account to this wallet, or your wallet to your account, and then that way you don't have to like recreate your wallet within your account. So that's kind of nice. If you do decide to go with a plan, you can go ahead and add it right here. Network settings. So here you could go ahead and add your own node. So if you have your own Bitcoin node, you could connect to your node by flipping this over and then entering the relevant settings. So that's something to note. It's a good idea to have your own node, but anyway, you can use Nunchucks if you don't have your own node. Hardware driver. So I'm not exactly sure what this does, but that's the default setting. Database encryption. I'm not exactly sure what database is being encrypted, but there's that setting. And then developing settings for debug mode. So there's that. And then about. So there's their Twitter and their email information. So yeah, a couple different settings there. Let's go back to the wallet itself. And let's click on view wallet config real quick. So we have more options down here. And right here we could view our UTXOs or unspent outputs, which I kind of covered briefly, but now we can actually see what one looks like. So if you happen to send multiple transactions to the same address, you'll have multiple UTXOs, and this way you could identify which UTXO is what. You could go ahead and consolidate them here, which is a good practice, is to consolidate your UTXOs when the fees are low. And I have a video, link in the description down below if you're unfamiliar with UTXOs and what the heck I'm talking about here. But here they are in this area within Nunchuk. So that's where you would find them under the more options right there. So anyway, if you want to delete your wallet, you could do that, and so on. So just a couple other settings, and here's our transactions, and you could view all of your transactions as well if you have multiple transactions. So anyway, a couple different settings. Let's go ahead and send this stuff out of here. So I'm going to click on send, and it does let us do batch transactions, which is kind of nice. It's kind of an advanced feature, which is what it says right here. But we could send to multiple addresses at one time. So that's kind of nice. If you have multiple people you're trying to send the Bitcoin to, you could go ahead and plug in multiple addresses, at once. And that way you could save a little bit on fees and consolidate everything. So anyway, I have an address here that I want to send my Bitcoin to. So I want to send to this address, and then I can go ahead and click on send all. And I'm going to say sending to self for demo, and continue. And here's a summary of our transaction right here. Now there's manual coin selection. So if we had multiple UTXOs and we wanted to select which UTXO we wanted to use, we could go ahead and select it right here. I only have one UTXO, so I don't have any options. So I'm just going to turn that off. But yeah, there is that option. We could also customize the fee setting, and we can go with manual fee rate. And so I'm going to look at the mempool real quick. And it looks like it'll be about 23 sats per VByte to get in the next block, or about 12 sats per VByte to get in the second block. So I'm going to go ahead and set this thing for 12. And then I'm going to go ahead and confirm and create transaction. And now I need to go ahead and sign my transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Nunchuk one, because that's a software key and it's already connected to my wallet here. So I should be able to just click sign and yes. And boom, that one's nice and easy to go ahead and do. So now it's pending one signature. Now Coldcard's a little trickier to do because, of course, I have a micro SD card. I gotta take it out, plug it into my Coldcard, sign the transaction, and do some stuff. Whereas with my Ledger, I can go ahead and scan it or sign pretty easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it with my Ledger. But I do have a video on Coldcard, and if you watch a video on Coldcard, you'll see how to sign transactions, and you could understand it and piece it together by watching the Coldcard video, and then this video right here on Nunchuk if you're using a Coldcard. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and log into my Ledger, and I want to go ahead and make sure that the Bitcoin app is open. So Bitcoin is ready. So now I'm going to go ahead and rescan. And sorry, I thought I had my phone up here, but you get the idea. I just opened up my Bitcoin app on my Ledger here. All right, and now it's saying that I can sign, so I'm going to click on sign. And it should send it over to my device. Alrighty, so it wants me to register my wallet since this is the first time I've done this type of transaction with the Multisig wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and approve that wallet. And then it's showing me one XPub, I believe that's what it's showing me. And then it's showing me my XPub. And then it shows me another one for 3 of them. and spend from a known wallet, wallet name, approve. And it's processing now. And now it wants me to review my output. So we'll come over here. Yep. Approve. Confirm transaction. Those are my fees. Accept and send. And it's processing again. And there we go. I've signed it. So now it says it's ready to broadcast. So I'm going to go ahead and start broadcasting. And there we go. Your transaction has been successfully broadcasted, if I could speak correctly. So anyway, let's go ahead and check it out on the Block Explorer. So we'll open this up. And it loads Blockstream, which I don't like as much as I like the mempool.space website. So I'm going to copy my transaction ID, come over to the mempool.space website and check it out. So there I am in that second block like I thought I would be. Here's my transaction, and there we go. Go into that wallet there. So everything looks just like I set it up. And you can see right here that it is a multisig 2 of 3. So that's kind of cool that it shows that there. And so, yeah, so my transaction is going through. They do have the replace by fee feature. So if you set too low of a fee, let's say you set it to 1 sat per VByte, and it's sitting in the mempool for 4 days, and you want it to speed up, you could do replace by fee, and then you could increase the fee of that you're willing to pay for your transaction. So it is nice that you're able to do that straight from Nunchuk here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this, and my transaction is going through, and eventually will wind up in my other wallet. And so that's how you would send Bitcoin from a multisig wallet on Nunchuk. And that pretty much covers it for this video. We set up our multisig wallet, we received some Bitcoin, we sent some Bitcoin, went over some settings, and hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And or please check out the btccourse.com. It is a free website with lots of Bitcoin training and content on it. It's just kind of my way to give back to the Bitcoin community. Again, free website. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.